People, assalamu alaikum. So again, today we are doing the A levels chapter biological molecules. Okay, and if you need these notes, you can contact me via my email. I'll mention it below. Okay, so this is the second lecture, and let's just revise what we studied in our previous one. So we studied about the biological molecules, which are basically the building blocks of our life. Okay, they are monosaccharides, organic bases, amino acids, fatty acids, and glycerol. Monosaccharides make disaccharides. I misspelled that. Disaccharides. Then they make polysaccharides. Okay, and the monosaccharides also make nucleotides. Okay, nucleotides basically what they do, they combine with organic bases and they make nucleic acid. Amino acids are basically present in our cell. They are like scattered in the cell and they are like joined together to form protein. Okay, fatty acids and glycerols, they make lipid. Okay, this is the only thing that we studied in the previous lecture, so it was like the basic start. So today we are doing carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, you can see from the name, the name comes from carb. Carb means, or you can say carb or carbo means carbon, and hydrate means hydrogen and oxygen. So that means that these compounds have C, H, and O in them. Okay, this is the general formula of carbon dioxide. What I'm saying, this is the general formula of a carbohydrate, CxH2OY. Okay, so they are composed into three groups. The monosaccharides, they are the subunits. You can say that monomers. We studied what are the monomers in the previous lecture. You can watch that if you don't know what are monomers. So these are monomers, also the subunits of a polymer. Okay, they also make disaccharide and polysaccharide. Today we are covering monosaccharide and disaccharide. I will teach polysaccharide in a separate class because polysaccharides, they're easy, but it's like a very vast topic itself. Okay, so we'll cover up monosaccharide and disaccharides today. So monosaccharides, okay, monosaccharides have sugary nature. Okay, they have sugary taste. Okay, and glucose is the most common example for monosaccharides. General formula of a monosaccharide is CH2ON. Okay, so whatever the n number, if the n number is 6, let's say H2O, and the n is equals to 6, so we'll write here 6. So it will be 6 carbon, twice the amount of H, and this is the formula for glucose. Glucose has 6 carbon in it. Okay, so we use the suffix in saccharides, which is OSE. Okay, so it will be triose for 3 carbon, hexose for 6 carbon. So over here you can see that glucose is a hexose sugar. Okay, hexose monosaccharide. Pentose is a 5 carbon sugar. Okay, simple. O's is basically the suffix. Prefix are the terms that we use before any word. Okay, and suffix are the terms that we use after any words. Okay, so this is basic English. Roles of monosaccharides. They are a great source of energy. Okay, so they're abundant. They're in a large amount in our body, and when the bonds are break, they release energy. Okay, What kind of energy we're talking about? We're talking about ATPs. ATP is basically the form of energy that is present in our body, and it is formed when ADP is combined with phosphate. Okay, so the equation goes like ADP plus, this is the phosphate, and it turns into ATP. And where we are getting this thing, we are basically getting this from the breakdown of the monomers. Okay, so this is what's going on in our body. Later on, when we'll be like doing the reactions of the body, you'll get to know that this equation is very like helpful. Okay, and condensation reaction and hydrolysis is happening, and basically we'll see that in the respiration chapter. Okay, so one thing is that they are very great source of energy, and the other thing is that they are the building blocks, like they make the larger molecules. Okay, so they are the monomers. They are the monomers, and they make these, sorry, all these polymers, and these are very essential for the living being. Okay, let's come down. What do we have over here? We have a structure. We have a basic structure of a monosaccharide. Okay, so how we like normally make them. Okay, so this is how do we write them. The trick is that what you're going to do is first you say that, for example, if we are like writing down glucose. Okay, so glucose is according to the formula. Okay, the N is 6, so C6H12O6. Okay, hexose sugar, right? So what's going to happen is, how we are doing this, let me show you over here. First of all, what we are going to do is we'll write down all the C's. We have 6 C's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, then we'll add on the OH and the H. So on the first carbon, and it's very important to count them as well. Okay, so this is the first carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, on the sixth carbon, because we have to like close the structure, no bond should be available, and carbon have like 4 places where it can join elements. Okay, basic chemistry. So according to that, one of the bond is over here. So we have what we have, let me make that with the red. We have one over here. So we have all the 4 bonds over here. That's on carbon 1. Like the O is making the double bond and H is making the single bond. Okay, down we go. It's combining with the OH, and how it's combining with the OH, it's like not like when you open it, like when you open this thing up, you'll see that the C is combining with O and the O is combining with the H. Okay, so that's how I'm writing it over here. Okay, then we have a OH over here. And then at the end we have 2 H's and 1 OH. Okay, I just opened, this is like the compressed form, and I just opened this up. Okay, so this is how you write when you're like when you're seeing the bonds, when they're asking about the bonding and you want to see what is connecting with what element, so you write it in this way. Okay, or you can also, if you're good at chemistry and like you understand it very well, you can write it in this way as well, like in in this way, like hiding some bonds, like you know that this is going to be over here because OH itself is a group. OH is the hydroxyl group. Okay, the positioning of the OH and the H is not random over here. Okay, the positioning matter. Okay, if you switch the positioning, like if you switch this OH over here, it will be a different molecule. Okay, so you need to make sure that the OH and the H's are on their precise location. So if you're taking this example, we are like saying that uh, there is a alpha glucose and a beta glucose. It happened because of the thing I just said earlier, that these positioning is very important. If you change the positioning, the molecule is changed. Now it's something else. So in alpha glucose, first of all, we just number them. This is the first carbon. These are the carbons, okay? These are the carbons. This is the first one, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth, and this is the sixth one. Okay? The first one, the thing we said, it was like, the first one was like this, remember? And it was combining with another C. Okay? So this is over here, okay? Now the first, we say that the location of the OH group is, this is like making a circular like structure, okay, ring like structure. Okay, so when we are talking about the positioning of OH group, we say above and below the ring. Okay, above the ring or below the ring, and these rings are formed only in the 5 carbons and the 6 carbons, because they are now long enough that they turn themselves, their structure turn themselves, and they like join together by themselves. Okay, what happened over here, that the O have double bond that breaks down, you can see there's a single bond right here. Okay, it breaks down and they like join together to form a ring. Okay, so these rings are two type, alpha glucose and beta glucose. In alpha glucose, the OH on the first carbon is below the ring. Okay, only one thing is different. And in the beta glucose, the OH group is above. Okay, so you need to remember this thing. This is the main thing that you need to remember, because the polysaccharides are composed of these things. So you need to know them. So this is the alpha glucose, in which the OH at the first carbon is below. Okay, and beta glucose is in which the OH group is above the carbon. And you have to like count the carbon in the same way, like this is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and this is the sixth carbon, and we write it in this way. Okay, that's how you draw a ring structure, and this happens when you have 5 carbon molecule or a 6 carbon molecule. Okay, so they are long enough that they turn themselves into a ring. Okay, so it's very important for the location, and you have to learn this, that on what carbon what is connecting. Okay, this is mentioned in every book. Okay, you have to see the structure. Only the first carbon, you have to remember that the first carbon is the carbon. If the OH is down, then it is the alpha glucose, and if the OH is up, the and the glucose is beta glucose. So you have to memorize this by like reading the book and drawing the structure. The more you'll draw the structure, the more you'll memorize the characters of monomers and all the others which are going to come later on in your life. Okay, disaccharides. Disaccharides basically means di means two. Saccharides means what? Sugar. Okay. So these are the molecules which are made up of two different monosaccharides. Okay, or two similar saccharides. Okay, but monosaccharides. Okay. What is the reaction that is going on over here? Monosaccharides. Okay, you don't have to write in the short form in the exam. I am writing it because I'm giving you lecture and I have a limited time to tell you guys the things. So you don't have to like write it like this. You have to like monosaccharide. Okay, then you should mention that if you're going to mention the short form, you have to mention it somewhere that this is the monosaccharide. If you're not mentioning it, they will not consider this anything. Okay, they will just cancel it out. So monosaccharide is equals to disaccharides. Okay, disaccharides. Okay, I'm just doing it because I have limited time and I have to write saccharide all the time. Okay, formed by joining two monosaccharides. We've done that. Three common type of monosaccharides are, sorry, these are the disaccharides. Disaccharides are maltose, which is formed by glucose plus glucose. This, when it's only glucose, that means it is the alpha glucose. Okay, which is making it. Sucrose is made up of glucose plus fructose. Lactose is made up of glucose plus galactose. Okay, so these are the common disaccharides. Sucrose is commonly a transport sugar in plants. Okay, and they're also available for us to buy in the shops. Okay, the sugar syrups, they are made up of, some sugar syrups are made up of sucrose. Okay, lactose is a sugar that is found in milk, therefore it is very important in mammalian diets. Okay, young mammal like sheep, lambs, they give their young cubs their milk, and lactose is in that milk. Okay, we also drink that milk, and that is also like essential for us. But some people are lactose intolerant, so we're not going there, but just saying that it is very beneficial for life. Okay, so let's see. We are talking about maltose. Maltose. So what's happening over here? Alpha glucose. How it's alpha? Because the ring, it is the ring, and the OH is below the ring. So that means this is the alpha glucose. We have a molecule of alpha glucose plus another molecule of alpha glucose. Okay. They both go under the process of condensation, and there is a water molecule released. Okay, so we'll write the minus sign over here because the water molecule is released from these two alpha glucose. Okay, so what happened is that the OH from this carbon, and wait a second, let me just, so what happened is like the H and the OH from here, they just give us a water molecule. Okay, and what is this? This is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon. Okay, same as first carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5 carbon, and 6 carbon. So we have a bond formation at the 4 and the 1. Okay, this bond is called the glycosidic bond. Okay, and this linkage over here is called the 1,4 linkage. Why I'm telling you this? Because later on when we will be like studying about the polymers, this linkage and this bond is very important. So what happens is condensation process take place over here between two alpha glucose, and they combine to form a maltose molecule. Okay, which is a macromolecule. And what kind of bond is formed? Glycosidic bond is formed. Okay, and one water molecule is removed from it. Okay, clear? Now we have alpha glucose, and we have here fructose. Okay, this is a fructose molecule. Fructose is a 5 carbon. Okay, still you can see that this is the 5 carbon ring. Okay, again this is the ring. This is 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3. Wait. Am I doing it right? This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes. Okay, so what's happening over here is that the 5 carbon, the fifth car, no, the fourth carbon, and this one over here, the first carbon. Okay, again 1,4 linkage, but the molecule is different. Over here we have fructose molecule. They join together, OH group from here and H group from here. They release basically what? They release a molecule of water. They go under the process of condensation. Okay, it is a reversible reaction. The reversible reaction is hydrolysis. Okay, if you're converting sucrose back to glucose and fructose, we'll go through hydrolysis and we'll add water in it. Okay, so that's why it's a reversible reaction. That's why we write this type of arrow. Okay, so this is the molecule of sucrose. Okay, then we have the polysaccharides. We'll study that in our next lecture. For now, uh, we are going to keep it till the disaccharides because I need you guys to like go through the structure. Okay, the uses and the where they are found, why they are essential, it's not that complicated, but you need to learn the structure of the glucose and the monosaccharides and the disaccharides, and especially glucose, because we will study about the alpha glucose and the beta glucose. You need to know the positioning of OH, so this is very much to handle. So we're going to keep the lecture like summarized to this point. Okay, you can have this lecture from me. You can contact me via my email and I will send you the lecture on your email address. Okay, so you can contact me through that, and you can always like watch this video, and if you like this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends. The more the merrier. So I'll see you guys in the next lecture.